this night. Love will heal the wound. The glowing light will set things right. It's alright. Full moon, wait in vain. Love for sure, come with rain. Rain for sure, will make it right. It's alright.
I'd like to say a special thank you to the Williamsburg Independent Film Festival just for having us. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
Inspiration, there wasn't really any, I got asked this at the last festival. There wasn't so much inspiration as perspiration. I was like, you know, for every 50 bad ideas, I feel like one good idea comes up, and then I work on it, do a lot of research.
I think, you know, it was really a collaborative effort with Amelia and Skeet doing this. You know, I'm sort of the visualist of sorts. But our inspiration definitely came from a camping trip that Amelia did. And I'd started writing a thing about a girl waking up in a tent on a beach, and she has amnesia, and just to try to find out, you know, what happened, basically. So we kind of combined our two stories and came up with this one.
Yeah. Well, I just, you know, first of all, Keir Gilchrist, who plays the lead role of Penna, I just think he's one of my favorite actors. And I wrote it for him because he had this really interesting dark quality. I've always had this kind of idea of, you know, over-exaggerating, like when you're young and you kind of feel like, you know, maybe you got to work at, like I work at a movie theater, or like my friends were lifeguards, and you have a job and like you don't have a car and you can't socialize and you like girls, and, you know, everyone's telling you what to do. Kind of take that and just over-exaggerate it, kind of metaphorically.
Different situation.
Yeah, you know, most people have parents. This guy has like a mob boss breathing down his neck. And kind of interesting that he hates what he does, but he's good at it. And I've definitely had that in various jobs where I wanted to get out of a certain industry. I worked in the music industry. I was good at my job, but I wanted to get out. So that's kind of where it came from.
Health is really important to me. As a filmmaker in our day and age, I feel like we are the eyes and ears, and that's our job. And so I wanted to do something that had a global message, raised some philosophical questions, and something Hitchcockian inspired. I mean, Hitchcock loved blondes.
I've made movies for a long time and never in this way, and it's been such a reawakening for me and for my passion for it that, you know, a career can be a roller coaster, and at times you want out, and it really, like I said, reawakened my passion for it, getting to do it in this way, and I wouldn't have done that without Amelia, without Franny, without the team that we have of people trying to tell these stories. And I think Point Magoo, to me, is, you know, you never know what influences environment have on us. You know, it could be a cause of violence. It could be in some way. I mean, first thing Giuliani did, obviously, here was clean up the subways and really knew that environment affected people's behavior. And so we were somewhat touching on that, that, you know, it is quite possible that the pollution, all the aspects, all the damage we've done to this planet may be a cause of some of the violence that we see in our day and age. I don't get too heady about it, but it's one small notion. And we've gone on to make a second short just because we've enjoyed it so much and loved the process, and we're close to finishing that one, and hopefully we'll get to have it here. And these guys have been extraordinary. We've done several film festivals, which I'm sure everybody here has, and I have to say these guys have been more supportive than any one we've been to, and just welcomed us with open arms, and so thank you for that.
Thank you, guys. The whole concept, and it was adapted by Alexander the Great. I don't know if anybody saw the last 2 credits, but it said thank you to. But anyway, basically the idea was, in order to win a war, you get to know your enemies so well that their guard is down, and then you deliver the death blow. And so, basically, that was a through line. Yvonne Maria Schaefer, that is my partner, my girlfriend, and she played Sandra in it. She also produced it with me. She was sort of an initial inspiration as well, because she's actually German, but she doesn't look German. She looks more Venezuelan or Spanish or Hispanic, of some sort, Mexican maybe. And so I thought that might be a good kind of vehicle to fool people at the end. Basically, her look is deceiving. So I thought that might be a good vehicle to, just kind of get a nice punch at the end. So that was one of the reasons why. Actually, some of the people that read the script originally wanted to do it.
I was the writer, producer, and actor of Point Magoo, and I'm an avid backpacker, camper, adventurer, hiker. The list goes on and on. Anything to do with the outdoors, and I'm all about it. And Point Magoo is one of my favorite campsites, and being sandwiched between the ocean and the PCH, which is the Pacific Coast Highway. It's an unusual and creepy place, and I just felt like every time I went camping there for years and years, I was like, oh my God, this movie is a Hitchcock movie just waiting to happen. And I just really wanted to write something inspired by that location. And
when I was in high school, I did debate all 4 years, and was a little bit of a nerd, but really enjoyed it. And I also love musicals, and I never really thought that those two had really been combined on film. So that really was the genesis of the idea. Was the very beginning of college. I was like, I want to do a musical about debate, and 4 years later, that's what came out. So yeah.
And really, I'm so grateful to Skeet for his 20 years of experience as a filmmaker. He really guided us. I wrote all our ideas sort of just down on the page as quickly as I could, in the first draft. It took me about 2 days or 3 days. I just wrote it down as quickly as I could, and then Skeet just guided us and stripped everything down. And at first we had this story of these girls passing this hitchhiker on the road, and we were like, oh God, he's hot, we'd like to share a tent with him. And he was like, honey, no. That's totally out of tone, out of you need to stick to something much more savory. What are you trying to do here? So, we had these girls smoking weed on the beach with this guy, wanting to share a tent with him, and he was just, luckily he saved my ass. And he totally just guided us and kept it grounded and kept it real, and I'm really grateful for him. And Franny, our amazing director, who's a regional Emmy Award winner many times over for his cinematography. And so you are who you surround yourself with, and I'm so grateful for everybody involved.
A lot of things like Dakota in the second number, speed talking, I don't know if you guys ever have done debate, but that rapid sort of pattern really fits in with the tap dancing, and syncopated type, or rhythmic rather, theme elements of speech and debate really sort of fit into the world of musical itself. I always say that I'm a dancer on the inside, not on the outside. A bunch of my really close friends are dancers though, and I really love watching dance. So while I sort of have an idea of what I want the number to be, I am not a choreographer, so I had 2 choreographers for the film. One was actually one of the supporting roles. His name's Adrian James from the other school, and I worked really closely with them throughout the filming to stage those numbers. You know, I told them what I wanted, and they fine-tuned it much nicer than I could have ever. So.
I started to do animation like 5 years ago because of a workshop, and then I decided to go to the animation school for an academy in Prague. I love to draw, I love to work with creative people, creative things, so I decided to do animation. I'm not sure if I will stay with the film industry or the animation, so
Future projects or anything you're working on now?
Yeah, I'm working, right now I've been doing rewrites on my current script. It's a short film called Love Out of Minds. It's for my thesis film at the School of Visual Arts. It's with the same characters, the same actors, but it's a different story. I'm playing the Clyde, and Rachel Williams is playing Jen, and it's yeah, I've been working on it a lot, but it's and I'm hoping to develop it into a feature film soon afterwards, after I graduate.
And is it like the same universe of the characters in this film?
It's a sort of a different universe. It's a romantic drama, and it's with this Clyde is new to this coffee shop. It's the first day of his job, and she's a coffee barista, and he's been hired there, and she's in charge of training him. And it's sort of like a love story between them, and there's a lot of issues that have to be worked out.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, I'm Chloe Dahl. I did Sticks and Stones, which was at the very beginning, and I made the story based on the bullying that I had when I was in elementary school and middle school, and I made it because I thought it was a very of the time topic, and it still needs to be discussed a lot because a lot of issues just keep going under the rug. So that is why I made the movie. It is the first movie I ever made, and right now I'm just submitting it to film festivals and crossing every finger and toe that it keeps getting in, and currently looking for the next thing that I can do. And I hope you like it.
We want to thank you. You flew in just for this screening.
Yes, I flew in last night from LA.
Thank you so much.